Alright, you're halfway done. In this part of the install process, your goal is to remove your old storage drive and install the crucial SSD in its place. That way, when you start your computer again, it'll boot up from the SSD and everything will be the same, but faster. As we walk through the steps to physically perform the installation, remember that your system will look different than the ones shown, and that's okay. The process is the same. Start off by shutting down your system. Once it's off, unplug the SATA to USB cable from your system and remove the cable from your SSD. Now remove the power cable and battery. Note that the battery removal step only applies to laptops when it's possible to remove the battery. To see how to do this on your system, refer to your owner's manual. Now that the battery is out, hold the power button for 5 seconds, which discharges any electricity still in the system. Now it's time to open the system's case. How you do this really varies from system to system, so consult your owner's manual for what you need to do. The process is also different on a desktop versus a laptop, so we'll show you both. You'll now see your system's components and there's nothing to fear. Simply ground yourself by touching an unpainted metal surface like the ones shown. Grounding protects your system's components from the static electricity that's naturally present in your body. It's an extra safeguard. Now locate your storage bay. This is where your existing hard drive is situated, and it's usually easy to find in desktops. In laptops, however, the location will vary, and it might be under the bottom panel, under the keyboard, or on the side. Refer to your owner's manual for the exact location, as every system looks slightly different. Remove your old storage drive by disconnecting any cables and brackets attached to it. Often you have to look closely at the drive for screws either on the top or on the sides that might be holding brackets, pull tabs, or supporting frames to the drive. Remove these and attach them in a similar manner to your SSD. Now plug the SSD into your system. Don't worry if the label faces up or down, as this will vary from system to system. When plugging in the SSD, don't force the connection. It should go in easily and the drive should fit snug. If it's wobbly and you're installing into a laptop, look closely again at the old drive you removed for any brackets, adapters, support frames, braces, pull tabs, or screws that might be attached to it. If anything is attached to the old drive, remove it and put it on the SSD in the same manner. Now reinsert the SSD into the storage bay. If it still doesn't fit snug, use the spacer you set aside earlier and attach it to the SSD by peeling off the adhesive and sticking it onto the drive so it fits snug in the storage bay. Attaching the spacer allows the SSD to achieve the same level of thickness as your existing drive. Many systems don't require the spacer, so you may not even need it. If you're installing the SSD into a desktop, you might encounter a different situation. The existing drive might be bigger than the SSD. This often happens because hard drives in desktops are often 3.5 inches, whereas a standard size SSD is only 2.5 inches. You can solve the problem by getting a 2.5 inch to 3.5 inch hard drive converter that will help the SSD fit snug in a standard size desktop bay. Click the link on your screen to get one of these converters. Once the SSD is securely seated in the storage bay, put your system back together and reconnect the battery if installing into a laptop. The next part is the fun part. Watch how fast your computer boots up. Now try clicking on some of your favorite apps and see how fast they load. This is the power of your new SSD, but you're not done yet. While the drive is physically installed, you can make it even faster by enabling a special feature. Watch the next video in this series to see how to do it.